Hello students, hope you are studying well at your home. In the previous video, we discussed about the Anemophily. Now, in this video, we will discuss about the Hydrophily. Hydrophily. If water is used as a medium for the pollination, then this process is known as hydrophily. So we can write here the water is used as a medium. Hydrophily in some plants, like almost 30 genera of monocotyledonous plants, do pollination through the water as a medium. So almost 30 genera of monocot show hydrophily. Besides this, in the previous class, you have studied about algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes, in which male gamete use water as a medium for the transfer. So their existence is limited at the means water वहाँ पे requirement है transportation के लिए male gamete की. इस वजह से उनका जो अवेलेबिलिटी है वो एक लिमिटेड एरिया में ही हो जाती है, क्योंकि वाटर जब तक अवेलेबल नहीं होगा तब तक वो प्लांट सर्वाइव नहीं कर पाएंगे. नाउ इन दिस पोर्शन वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट द टाइप्स ऑफ हाइड्रोफिली और हाउ द वाटर इज यूज्ड एज अ मीडियम. सो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दिस वी विल डिवाइड दिस हाइड्रोफिली इनटू द two parts. One is hypohydrogamous and another one is epihydrogamous. Hydrogamous. These are the types of plants on the basis they do pollination by water. First one is hypohydrogamous and second is epihydrogamous. Second is epihydrogamous. Hypohydrogamous. That term is used when water pollination is done by the water, but pollination is happened below the surface of the water. So pollination is below the surface. And in the case of epihydrogamous, the pollination is happened on above this surface, of water. So these are the two different types of plants which do hydrophily by two methods. It's hypohydrogamous or it's epihydrogamous. In such type of plants, pollination is done below the surface of the water, and in such type of plants, pollination is done on above the surface of water. Let's take the example of such type of plants. One important example we will discuss here, that is the Zostera. Zostera is the plant in which pollination is done by the hypohydrogamous flower method. Let's see what happens in the case of Zostera. Zostera is the submerged plant that is present below, or we can say at the bottom of the sea water bodies. These are the one Zostera plants. The roots are submerged in the bottom of the water bodies. This is the Zostera. The Zostera has the pollen grains which are it produces largest pollen grains. The pollen grains are the largest in size, and they have needle shaped pollen grains. Shape of pollen grains are needle like. In the case of Zostera, here one part will form the male flower. Suppose this is the male flower, and here the another stem, or at another part of the flower, the female flower is present. Here male and female, both flowers are present on the same plant. This is the male flower which is present at one side, or another side the female flower is present. Now see what happens here. When the female this male flower get matured, when it get matured, it release its pollen grains. The pollen grains which are as a needle like shape. We already discussed that the shape of the pollen grains in the case of Josteras are like needle shaped. यहाँ पे जो pollen grains का size होता है वो needle shaped होता है और size भी बड़ा है. They are the largest pollen grains. Now what happened here. Let's see. When these pollen grains release from the flower, they have some specific gravity. Specific gravity in the sense they have specific gravity like water, with reference to water. अगर ये pollen grains यहाँ से रिलीज होने के बाद अगर इनकी ग्रेविटी, इनका जो वेट है वो कम होगा, then they will come onto surface of the water. They will reach at the surface of the water. Or if they have the heavier sizes, then they will sink down. अगर ये pollen grains साइज में हैवी होंगे तो ये पानी में नीचे बैठ जाएंगे, और अगर ये हल्के होंगे तो ये वाटर की सरफेस पे फ्लोट करेंगे. At that condition, pollination is not possible. So let's see what happens here. These pollen grains has specific gravity, and these specific gravity maintain them at the level of that female flower. They float at that same level where the female flowers are present. So they keep floating in the water, and they reach to the female flowers. For the female flowers should be at some height here. Let's draw it here, and they reach at the female flower. Some another pollen grains from the another plant can come or reach to the female flower for the pollination. So in this way, Josteria do pollination. Let's see what happens. एक बार फिर से देखते हैं. Josteria जो कि एक submerged plant है, उसमें क्या होता है कि जो मेल फ्लावर है, मेल फ्लावर will release the pollen grains. और ये जो pollen grains है ये needle shaped pollen grains है, largest size के pollen grains है, और इन pollen grains की एक specific gravity होती है, जिसकी वजह से ना तो ये सरफेस पे वाटर सरफेस पे फ्लोट करते हैं और ना ही ये नीचे सबमर्ज्ड हो जाते हैं, सेडिमेंट हो जाती है. दे फ्लोट एट द सेम लेवल ऑफ द फीमेल फ्लावर. उसी लेवल पे फ्लोट करते रहेंगे, एंड बाय फ्लोटिंग दे रीच एट द female flower, and when they reach there they start germinating and they do pollination. This type of method or this type of plants which adopt this type of mechanism, they are known as hypohydrogamous. Second type is the epihydrogamous. Epihydrogamous is the mechanism in which plants do the pollination by using the water as a medium, but pollination is done above the surface of the water. Let's see what is the example. Example of such kind of plants are Vallisneria. In the case of Vallisneria, what happens? Let's see. The plants is also submerged flower, and this is the plants. This Vallisneria plant have male and female flowers at different plants. They are not present at the same plant. They are different, and they have long needle-shaped leaves. This is the male flower, and here we will draw the female flower. Now let's see what happens here. In the case of male flowers, the flowers grow in a cluster in the form of spidix. Here spidix is formed, and in the case of female flowers are present on a stalk that is a coiled stalk. Here female flowers are present at a coiled stalk. Now let's see what happened. At the maturity, when these female flowers grow and they become mature, they detach from that part. And they reach at the surface of water. This is the water surface. They reach here. They detach from that stalk and they reach at the water surface. When they reach at the water surface, it comes here with 3 parient or 3 tepals. We can say here it has 3 tepals. Out of these 3 tepals, 2 tepals remains submerged. 2 tepals remain submerged, and 1 tepal will remain at the above side. 3 tepals remain submerged at the below side of the water level, and 1 will remain above. And here it has the stamen. Now let's see what happens here. This is the Vallisneria. Vallisneria has 2 types of plants, in which male flowers develop, and second in which the female flowers develop. Male flower has a inflorescence that is spidix type inflorescence. In spidix, the windflower develops. It gets detached from that plant. It gets detached and it released and reached to the surface of the water. When it reaches at the surface of water, it's formed or it comes here with three parient or three tepals. Out of these, two tepals will remain at the lower surface, lower level of the water or at the lower side of the water, and one will remain above the water. जिसमें से ये जो थ्री पैरेंट यहाँ पे हैं, two parents नीचे की तरफ रहेंगे and one will remain outside, and it has stamen also. Stamens are present here and these stamens are anther and filament, both things. When the female flower also get matured, then it's uncoiled. We have formed here a coiled structure by which the female flowers are attached. When this flower become mature, it will become uncoiled. Let's see how it will happens. It will uncoil and this female flower reached at the surface of water. The female flower reached at the surface of water. At the same time, the anthers will burst and the pollen grains will release. Anthers will burst and the pollen grains will release. And when these pollen grains get released, they reach to the stigma of this female flower. And after reaching there, they will start germinating and will do fertilization. Let's see what happened in the case of Vallisneria. It has two plants, male and female. Male flowers grow in the form of spadix, and after when it gets mature, it detach from the plant and it reach at the surface of water. At the same time, female flower, when the male flower reach at the surface of water, when female flower grows, it become mature. It become uncoiled. It is in the starting condition, it is in the coiled stage, but later on it will become uncoiled. It become uncoiled and it also reach at the surface of water. At that time, anther release the pollen grains and these pollen grains reach to the stigma of the female flower and pollination is done. After that, this female flower also again become coiled. After pollination, it will again become in the normal stage, again become coiled. This is the type of Epihydrogamous in which the pollination is done on the surface, as plant is submerged but pollination is done on the surface of water. Like these, some another examples are also given in your NCERT book. That is the example of water hyacinth and water lily. They are also aquatic plants, but they are not using other water as a pollinating agency. In such type of plants, pollination is done by insects or by wind because they have flowers which grow on the surface of the water. They are present above on the surface of water, so they do not require water as a medium. In such type of plants, pollination is done with the help of insects or wind. So with this, we discuss the hydrophily in which the water is used as a medium. It can be divided into two parts, hypohydrogamous and epihydrogamous. Hypohydrogamous means pollination on the below the surface. Below the surface is hypohydrogamous, and at the epihydrogamous, pollination is done on the surface of water. Example of such type of plants are Joostera, and example of epihydrogamous plants are the Vallisneria. That's all about this topic. In the next video, we will discuss about the anemophily or entomophily, and you will understand all the type of pollination agencies and their characteristics of the flowers for this pollination. Thanks a lot. Keep watching and keep studying.